Yes, sir.
Okay. Ma krudhaha. Ma krudhaha. Kru. Ka, wu, and half consonant ra. Kru. Ma krudhaha. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. Ma krudhaha. Okay. Krudha akroshe. That is to be angry. Krudha akroshe. So it's very simple on this. Don't get angry. Ma krudha, don't get angry. Atharva 11 to 20. 11 to 20. A very sane person, anywhere, anytime, always speak of this. And they know very clear that anger is a very dangerous thing. And it's an internal enemy. It's not something external, it's an internal enemy. And a person who is taken hold of by anger will lose his thinking capacity and discrimination capacity. And they will not know what they do, what they talk. That is their condition. They're totally out of control. And anything may happen. Now, this anger cannot possess a person for a long time. It may happen for a few hours, a few days. Then gradually, as time passes, it comes down. The whole problem of this is, when we are in anger, we do something, we talk something, and mostly it will be nonsense. We do something, and once we are out of anger, we cannot go back, we cannot repair what all we have done, the damages we have done while we are angry. That's the problem. While we are angry, what we are doing, we will not be knowing at all. We will be possessed by that anger. We cannot rectify it, we cannot repair it later. So first, to get angry and to behave as though possessed by anger. And what happens later is, we cannot revert back, and the only thing what is left to us is to repent. Now all this is a great obstacle for our spiritual progress. Energy is lost, time is lost. And once we lose control of ourselves, that's a sign of weakness of the soul. That's a sign of impurity of the soul. So look at it from any angle, it is disturbing, it is a loss. It's waste of time and energy. Okay, to say don't get angry is very easy, but how to do it? It gives elsewhere, that is Shaha Marshane, that's the word for it. Shaha Marshane. Now that finally becomes Saha. Shaha becomes Saha. Marshana is to tolerate. Marshana is to bear. And that's why from Shaha, the word becomes Saha, and finally it becomes Sahana. Sahana is tolerance, patience. Because we are not tolerant, because we are not able to bear it and have control on ourselves, because Marshana is not there, because Sahana is not there, yes, immediately become angry. We retort, we shout, we do something, we throw things, something we do. Maybe sometimes we inflict pain on the other person. Sometimes we inflict pain on ourselves. Totally whatever we do, whatever we talk will be nonsense. That's the final thing. Unwanted. And we cannot revert it later. We cannot go back. If some serious thing has happened because of our anger, without knowing what I am doing, out of control, so that serious thing cannot be reverted. So don't at any point of time lose your grip and go to the grip of the anger. For that, what should happen is we should have that tolerance, sahana, patience, patience and tolerance. And this patience and tolerance, of course, it's there in everyone. But what is there in everyone has to be extended to every situation. That's the thing. And this we have to do over a period. It is not something which happens overnight. You should remember this. This tolerance, this patience is a real thing which enhances the strength of the soul, which purifies the soul further. So remembering this, every situation, every condition, we should tolerate, we should be patient. And the next question comes, does not this patience or does not this tolerance be interpreted as our weakness, our cowardice? Now that's a big question always. That's a big question. Okay, somebody harms, somebody speaks something nonsense. Then you say, okay, it's all right. Just purely because of our tolerance and patience, we kept quiet. But the other person understands, oh, I can talk to this person in any way, I can do anything to this person, because this person will not revert back, retort, will not get angry. He is a weakling. With a mistake like that, what's the thing? The same situation will repeat again and again because they mistake us for weaklings, cowards. Now this is the thing. Now here, we have to find a balancing point. Balancing point. We have to sometimes revert back, fight back. So the same thing I'm telling, and I'm contradicting my own self. In the beginning, I said we should be tolerant and patient. Now I'm telling you we have to revert back. We have to fight back. The whole thing is like this. We should not take things personally when you are fighting back. That's the thing. We should fight back under those situations where it is for the good of greater number, greater good of greater number, then we have to fight back. If it comes to, if we have to shout, yes, we shall shout. Now, is it not anger? That's a question again. Is it not anger? Now there is a lot of difference between this situation and anger. When we are angry, we are out of control. That's what I told. But when we are under this condition, we are not out of control. If we retort, if we shout back, If we argue back, not losing control on ourselves. Repeat, not losing control over ourselves. ಒಂಚೂರು ನೀರು ಬೇಕು ಇಂದು ನೀರು ಬೇಕು ಒಂಚೂರು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. Then we will not call it as anger. And what is the thing? Vedas use another beautiful word for that. That's manyu. Manyu. On the face of it, manyu also is anger, krodha is also anger. But when you go deep, there is a lot of difference between manyu and krodha. As I've been telling, krodha is going out of control. Manyu is reacting, being under control. Krodha generally is self-centered. Our intolerance, our impatience, it is selfish, self-centered. Because our self-interests are troubled or at stake, we become angry. In Manyu too, we become angry, but not self-centered. It's for some value, it's for some principle, it's for the good of all. We become angry. It is not self-centered. In krodha, we suddenly fight back without giving a thought. In manyu, we fight back after deep thinking, fast thinking, of course. Now, how this thinking element has come in manyu? The root of the word manyu is manajnane. Manajnane is the root. That itself makes things clear. Here this akrosha, there it is jnana. In akrosha, to shout back, to revert back, to be intolerant. There's a root here for krodha, whereas here for manyu, it is knowledge-based, not self-centered. So there is a great difference between the two. In simple terms, I can say like this: when we are under anger, we are disturbed. When we are possessed by anger, our blood pressure increases. We sweat. We will not be in a position to talk properly. We fumble. Whereas when it comes to manyu, we don't lose control. Our blood pressure will not increase. Our purpose is higher than self-centered. We will not sweat. We will not search for words. So the whole condition itself is different. While we are in krodha, we shout. While we are in manyu too, we shout. The difference is a lot. By just looking on the face of it, shouting is the same. But why and how and what's the effect of it on us is totally different in krodha, is totally different in manyu. A simple example I can give you. Somebody harms us. We shout. It amounts to krodha. Some person is an anti-social element and harms the society. We shout, we are angry about that person. That is manyu. Over. If we take it individually and if we are self-centered, that becomes krodha. But if we are working in it, some force which is harmful to the society and not tolerate it, that becomes manyu. It is not self-centered. It's not self-centered. We are fighting back We are intolerant. We are impatient. All those things are there. In Krodha, whatever was there, everything is there here. But it is all for the good of the society around us, not just us. So it becomes manu. For the welfare of a society, manu is essential. Every person in the society should have this manu. Only then the society will be safeguarded against antisocial elements. But when it comes to Krodha, we are in trouble. Because it is self-centered and our whole system gets disturbed. Now this line which converts our intolerance and impatience to Krodha or to Manu, we have to understand very clearly. Elsewhere in the Vedas, there is a prayer to God. It says, Manyurasi Manyumaidhehi. Oh God, you are Manu. You are the very embodiment of Manu. You are the source of Manu. Please give that Manu to me. Please instill that Manu in me. There's a prayer there. And here it says, Ma Krodhaha. Don't lose your patience. Don't lose your tolerance. And be possessed by anger. That's what it says here. Elsewhere, I want that Manu. We pray for it. Yes. If the same word can be used, anger, yes, Krodha is anger in the negative sense. Manu is anger in the positive sense. It is the same intolerance and impatience. One is for positive things, one is for negative things. One is self-centered, one is society-centered. One is for the good of one single person, the other thing is for the good of more number of people. One is personalized, one is not personalized. It is socialized. All these things make the difference between Krodha and Manu. Manu should not be mistaken for Krodha. Krodha should not be justified saying it is Manu. Both we should be careful. So if you understand this subtle difference between Manu and Krodha, yes, we are protected. And society too is benefited. The whole gist of the explanation here is the subtle difference between Krodha and Manu. The common factor between both is intolerance and impatience. Whether it be Krodha or whether it be Manu, there is that element of impatience, there is that element of intolerance. Now what happens? Krishna has beautifully epitomized it. Sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati samohaha samohat smrti vibhramaha smrti vibhramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. Over. It's a slide downwards. If you get into the slide, it ends in your doom. That's it. Result. If it is with reference to Krodha. But Manu is not a slide which takes us to the bottom. Manu is a resistance to antisocial forces. It's not a slide. It's an iron wall against that thing. So there's a lot of difference between Manu and Krodha. Manu is beneficial, Krodha is dangerous. Bhavarajan, Yajamanaya, Mruda, Yajamanaya Mrida. Ma and R, that is the vowel, Mrida. Bhavarajan Yajamanaya Mrida. Atharva 11:2-28. 11:2-28. Rajan Yajamanaya Mrida. The root for Mrida is Mrida Sukhane. Mrida Sukhane. Yajamana, Yaja Deva Puja Sangate Karna Daneshu. Rajan Rajra Deeptau, the one which shines. Now this piece of the Veda mantra can be understood at the two levels. One is Adhi Daivika, another one is Adhyatmika. At the Adhi Daivika level, Rajan is our leader, the king, one who leads us. And I had a prayer with that person, O leader, Yajamanaya Mrida. Be comfortable and happy giving to a Yajamana. Who is an Yajamana? Yaja Deva Puja Sangha. One who does Yajna is an Yajamana. Now what is Yajna? I discussed several times. It is not restricted to invoking fire on the altar and saying Swaha and offering something. That alone is not Yajna. Yajna is doing anything in the best way possible. Whatever you do, do it the best way. Yajno vai shreshtatamam karma. Again and again I have repeated this. The best deeds are said to be Yajna. Whatever it be, do it in the best way. Now the one who performs Yajna is an Yajamana. Yajamani also is there, the one who performs in the feminine gender. Now anyone who is into performing good deeds in the best way possible, doing right things in the best way possible, they deserve to be protected. They deserve to be cheered up. Over. Cheer them up. See that they are happy. And that responsibility is given to the Rajan, the leader. Now in the Adhyatmika sense, everything is the same, but Rajan changes. It's not the leader, but it is Satchidananda. We pray with the God. Oh God, protect a person who is into good deeds and who is into performing deeds in the best way possible. Yajamanaya Mrida. Give them our happiness. Give them that comfort. Give them that peace of mind. Mrida. Of course, when it is in the Adhi Daivika, yes, we have to request this leader, a mortal leader, and request him, okay, do this, do that. But if it is God is necessary, if you go on doing your good deeds, definitely he will give us what he deserves. The law, the process established by that Satchidananda is so infallible, without flaw, without lacuna. It happens. Is it necessary to pray for it? Correct answer is no. And how to understand this? Prarthana ve sankalpaha. Simple. Though it appears as a prayer, it's not really a prayer. It is a motivating thing for us to involve ourselves in doing good deeds and in doing those deeds in the best way possible. And we are very clear that by doing so, we will be cheered up and we can celebrate life, and the whole life is full of happiness. So it is a remembrance for us, a thing which we remember and we involve ourselves in good deeds and in the best way possible. And we are sure that happiness and comfort and peace will definitely come to us. And it has taken the shape of a prayer, and we have hundreds of times discussed that this prayer is not just begging for something, but converting the prayer into determination and action and doing it. Then only the prayer will be answered. Then only the prayer becomes real prayer. Otherwise, it becomes just asking for something without doing anything from our side. And such prayers will never be answered. Prayer is fine, but it should be supported by our determination, our action, and all those things. Our adoption of things, the values, doing good things. We have to do it. That is the role what we have to play from our side. And the prayers will be answered. So in the Adhyatmika sense, this prayer gets converted into determination and action. And in the Adhidaivika level, yes, we are really reminding the leader to perform his duty as a leader well. He is also a human being. So we are trying to remind him, yes, you are a leader. You are supposed to protect a person who does good deeds, a person who does the good deeds in the best way. That's your priority. Remind them. Don't forget about it. We use one word, chetavani. That is to remind them to be alert. You are alerting them. And you are telling him, do this. Then only you will become a successful leader. Rajan. So in one case, it is really alerting our leader as to what duty he has to perform and who takes a priority. In the other case, Adhyatmika level, it's a prayer to the God, which actually turns out to be our determination and practice. And it should be very clear that the one who is really into yajna, whose life is really in the form of yajna, yes, they deserve protection from the mortal leader and also from the Satya. They deserve it. Sometimes because of human weaknesses, human limitations, we may not be given full justice by this leader, but our justice is definite, our share is definite, our good result is definite with reference to the ultimate lawmaker, Satyananda. Here a little this way that may happen. It's all right, don't worry about it. You are going to get your fruits, you are going to get your benefits 100% when you are subject to the law of the Satyananda. That's infallible, we are sure of it. So in both ways, we can understand this piece of the Veda mantra, and anywhere, in any way we understand it, the final result is we are into yajna, we perform good deeds, and all the good deeds we perform in the best way possible. Ma no himsihi, pitaram matarancha. Pitaram mataramcha. 11:2-29. Atharva. 11:2-29. Mano himsihi pitaram mataramcha. Let not our parents, let not my mother, let not my father be troubled, be subject to violence. Let them be protected. In other words, let us show respect to them. Let them not be troubled, let them not be harmed because of me or anybody else also. Because they are worthy of that respect and that protection. Of course, this is the root of Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava. A small question comes here. Do all parents deserve this? Do all parents? Because we do have some parents who are by themselves are not deserving for this respect, for this protection. Where do we draw the line? It's very easy. When you understand the very word what is used here. Pitaram Mataram, Pitra Matra. Pitra Matra, when I use the word, they definitely deserve it. There are some people who don't deserve it. They are not Pitra or Matra, they are Janaka Janani. The whole picture is different. Janaka Janani, they are the cause of our birth. Fine. There ends the issue. They have not discharged their duties as Pitra or Matra. Bad parents. Yes, there could be. There could be. Parents could be bad. Inhuman. We have seen that. We have seen that. For some reason, the mother and father, they just forsake the child, throw it out into a dustbin. Have you not seen such cases? We have seen. And what type of Mata or Pita they are? They are unfit to be called as Mata or Pita. But still, they are cause for our birth. Of course, they are Janaka and Janani. Jani Pradurbhave, the cause for our birth. The cause for our Sharira Indriya Manas. So that makes all the difference. Janaka Janani is fine. Some Janaka, some Janani should be there. But if they go beyond that Janaka and Janani and protect the child, educate the child, see that it develops a beautiful personality, now they are called Pitra and Matra. Pitaram Mataram. Now they deserve our love, affection, protection, respect, and let them not be harmed. Mahimsihi. So our request is with reference to the Mataram and Pitaram, the protective forces and the creative forces which create and develop our personality. They are real Mata and Pita. Now we are not speaking of Janaka and Janani. At one level. Second level, of course, we want everyone to be happy, irrespective of whether they're good or bad. We wish for the happiness of all. In that bigger ambit, yes, they too have got a place. Even the Janaka Janani have got a place there. And how do you differentiate? Anybody who is in trouble, Janaka Janani including, they deserve our love and service. We have to serve them, we have to take care of them. Because they are the cause for our Sharir Indriya Manas. Because they are the cause for our Sharindra Manas, they deserve our service. If they are really Mataram and Pitaram, they deserve our service plus obedience. But if they are not, they are just Janaka Janani, of course they deserve our service, but not our obedience. They are not fit for that. We will have our own way because they are unfit. See, this line we have to understand very clearly. One is service, another one is service plus obedience. Service plus obedience is to Mata and Pita. We worship them. We show all our reverence to them. And we say Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava. Excellent. But they should have been Pita and Mata. The word just parents will not differentiate these two, Janaka Janani and Mata Pita. It doesn't differentiate. But these words in the Vedic language, they definitely differentiate. Janaka Janani is of a lower level and Mata Pita is of a higher level. Those at the lower level, yes, they are eligible for our service, our care. Whereas Mata Pita, they deserve our care as well as our obedience. Only they can be called as Mata Pita. Not every person who is responsible for our Sharindra Manas. Physical contribution. And it stops there. Janaka Janani. Along with physical contribution, being a cause for our Sharindra Manas, in addition to it, they protect us, they help us develop our personality, they give us all the samskaras, they give us all the love and affection, and see that we become useful citizens of the world. Yes, they are Mata Pita. They deserve something more. In general, all creatures deserve our care and love. That's a different issue. So here, Mahimsihi is a special emphasized protection and love for those for the cause of our personality, for the cause of our protection. They have been protecting us from evil, protecting us from disturbances, and they have given us a beautiful personality. So I are indebted to them. It is a special reference. Of course, Mahimsihi is general. We don't wish himsa, we don't wish violence to any creature. In particular, this is the one we are speaking of. When you say don't inflict violence on our Mata and Pita, it doesn't mean it can be inflicted on others. No. This is a special reference we are making. This is a special reference. Let nobody be subject to violence. In particular, now comes this sentence. In particular, Mahimsihi Mataram Pitarancha. It's a special effort. With special effort, we protect them, we love them. We are indebted to them, and we try to clear our indebtedness to our Mata and Pita. Special. Because they are the cause of our personality. They are responsible for our protection. They have protected us a lot. And they have been the cause for our development of the personality into a useful human being. They are Mata and Pita. Next. Prano Virat. Prano Virat. Atharva 11:4-12. Pranam sarva upasate. Pranam sarva upasate. Same. Atharva 11:4-12. Pranam deva upasate. Pranam deva upasate. Atharva 11:4-11. Pranaya namo. Pranaya namo. Yasya sarvamidam vashe. Pranaya namo yasya sarvamidam vashe. Atharva 11:4-1. Pranaya namo yasya sarvamidam vashe. There are many such pieces of Veda mantras. Now it speaks about the prana. That's the main focus of all these pieces of Veda mantra. Prana is at the focus. And that is appreciated by all living creatures. Now this prana is to be understood as the force in every living creature, which is, it has got two main features. Self-protection. One is self-protection and the other one is self-propagation. Self-protection and self-propagation. Where we see these two, yes, that is the one which has got prana. If we say something has got prana, the two basic things you have to observe there is, or one is self-protection and the self-propagation. That force we observe in every living creature, and that is the essence of life, that's the essence of prana. If some danger is befalling, then every creature wants to protect itself. Every living being wants to protect itself. It wants to avoid the danger. One basic thing. Another thing is, it wants to multiply itself, every creature, every living creature. And that is the self-propagation force. Every living creature reproduces. Simple. That's propagation, reproduction. It wants to live, it wants to protect itself, and it wants to reproduce and propagate. Every living creature does it. So now speaking of life force, we have to understand these two features. Now, this is the crux of, the essence of all living beings. When I say living being, life is the essence. And it is Virat, Virat, the ultimate. We never want to die, all creatures. Now it comes to human beings, this whole life is looked at with a broader view. It's not just self-propagation, it's not just self-protection. Beyond that, it wants to use this human life for the betterment of, for the improvement of, for the progress of the soul. It's an additional dimension what we get. In general, every creature wants to live. Okay, fine. We want to live. We don't want to die. So at the same time, we have to recognize the right of any other creature to live as we want to live. So by understanding these pieces of Veda mantra, we are left with only one way of life, that is non-violence, ahimsa. But for other creatures, they have got their own jungle law. They have got their own law of the forest, the survival of the fittest, and so many other things. The rule there is different. But when human beings are involved, the rule is non-violence. The rule is peace. The rule is love. The rule is compassion. Because that compassion and that love is the essence of life in the case of human beings. We love it. We allow other creatures also to love their lives. We will not endanger the lives of other living beings. Because you know what's the value of that? We can understand how valuable it is for us. The same is valuable for other creatures also. To move a step further, in the case of human beings, why I am stressing on human beings and human beings, we can understand very easily. The whole Veda, the whole knowledge, the whole guidance is directed to human beings only. A creature which is not a human being cannot understand all these things, cannot think. They work just on their instincts. Nidrahara bhayamaituna, over. That's the end of their life. Mechanical. It's only a human being who can think, who can analyze, who can visualize, who can do something for the progress and betterment of the soul. So all these guidelines, all these teachings, all these things are directed towards human beings, and it is for the human beings, it is said. So in particular, when these things are said, the human beings, I was told you can do all these things when you are living. So living is very, very important. Live long, live well. Now, live long, live well is not there here in this piece of Veda mantra, but it's elsewhere. So I have to look into this in a comprehensive way and to consider those pieces of Veda mantra also and understand this piece of the Veda mantra. Life is very, very important for us. Only when you are living, we can do something for the improvement of the soul, for the progress of the soul, for the upliftment of the soul. Only when you are living. Once you are dead, that is once you are separated from the Sharir Indriya Manas, then we cannot act or react. We are dormant in a state of inaction. What can we do then? Nothing. But when we are capable of doing something with such a beautiful structure, with such a beautiful tool like human Sharir Indriya Manas, yes, to live as long as possible in this structure, to use this tool as long as possible becomes vital for us. So it is Virat. The force which protects this, yes, thanks to that force. And we don't want to misuse or abuse this life what is given to us. This force what is given to us. This prana what is given to us. We want to make the best use of it for the benefit of the soul. So prana is very, very important for us. It is not something which we can just take lightly, abuse it, and lose it. No. It is a very, very important thing for me. It is invaluable. What happens next, we don't know. What's our next janma? We don't know. This we are very clear, we are human beings, and we've got all the capacity to use this tool well for the improvement of the soul. If you lose this opportunity, everything is gone. Now we thank that great force, Satchidananda, which has given us this prana. This prana is vital, is crucial for us. And we want to make the best use of this prana, what is available to us. And this prana is important to every living being. That's a different issue. That also we have to understand. And give every living being its right to live. Self-protection and self-propagation. We are not harming any life around us. We don't harm even ourselves. Once we understand the value of this life force, yes, the way we look at things will be totally different. We do everything which protects this. We do certain things which prolong this life. Not only ours, but also life around. Now, we are not becoming cruel. We are not becoming harmful. We blend to this particular aspect of life. We blend ourselves, we move with it harmoniously. Yes, it's good for us and for the other lives around us. All these things will happen only when we understand that life is supreme, life is ultimate, living is very crucial. And this life is breathed into every sharira indriya manas only by that Satchidananda. We cannot do it. We cannot create a sharira indriya manas of this form and blow life into it. We cannot. If it is given, yes, we can use it properly. And if we don't use it, we lose it. And when we lose it, the very purpose of our human life is gone. For animals, there's no problem at all. They work mechanically, they work according to their instincts. They are not at all bothered about anything else, but for nidra, ahara, bhaya, maithuna, self-protection, self-propagation, over. Their whole life is decided with two things: self-protection, self-propagation. Self-protection, nidra, ahara, bhaya, self-propagation, maithuna, over. But we are not animals. We are human beings. In addition to that, we have got something else, and we can appreciate the value of life. We can appreciate the opportunity what is given to us. We are able to understand what this life is and how well we can use it. All these things we can do it, human beings, not any other creature. So we can understand the value of it, the importance of it, and the loss that we may incur when we lose it, when we are not using it properly. So the whole crux of the issue is jijivisha, jijivisha, the wish to live for longer. I cannot buy prana, I cannot buy life. Gone means gone, over. Any material thing, if I lose, I can buy it, or I can live without it. But I cannot live without life. The very statement is something peculiar. Life is vital. It's a great opportunity that we have got. That is Virat, that is the supreme, that's ultimate. That's what these sentences speak of. They try to enlighten us about the importance of this life, the value of this life. We cannot measure its value in terms of any monetary unit. It's beyond that. So when you realize this, yes, we try to make this living purposeful. We try to make this living useful. We try to make this living humane. Fine. All this contribute for the improvement of the soul, for the strength of the soul, for the purity of the soul. The very purpose of human life is achieved. And it all starts from being existent, being living. If you don't live, all these things become a big zero. Now these aspects are in particular explained, emphasized during the last samskara called Antyeshti samskara. There are several mantras which are complementary to this, complementary. There in Antyeshti samskara, they remind us, see, the person is dead. You have come to the funeral. The person is being cremated. You are seeing it? Yes. It is on the pyre. We are going to light it and burn it down into ashes. The very tool what was given to the soul now is dead, not usable. The soul has escaped. It is separated. Now think over. What can this soul do now? A big zero, nothing. Because it doesn't have the tool, the Sharira Indriya Manas. The life is gone, the prana is gone. But all the other people who have gathered here to participate in the funeral, please remember, you are still with your lives. You are still with your prana. You are still having the tool, Sharira Indriya Manas. Understand the importance of it. Once the soul gets out of it, the Sharira Indriya Manas, this tool, is burnt down to ashes. It is existence of the soul in the Sharira Indriya Manas that is invaluable. Soul by itself cannot do anything. Sharira Indriya Manas without soul is worthy to be burnt down. What should you can do? If at all you want to do something, it is when the two things are together, the soul and the Sharira Indriya Manas. The two being together is what we call it as prana and living and life. Otherwise, it's death. Life is the two being together, the operator and the tool. And this human tool is very, very powerful and invaluable, and it is only this tool which helps the soul for its upliftment, for its improvement. Now these mantras are there in the Antyeshti Samskara. At the funeral, yes, these mantras are chanted. And it happens like that. Once we are at the funeral, yes, all these things we realize. And once we are out of the ground, out of the funeral ground, we are again back into our mundane affairs. And they have beautifully given one word for it. They call it as Mashana Vairagya. Yes, Vairagya is there, renunciation is there. And it's very, very temporary as long as we are in the cremation ground. Once we are out of it, yes, we are back to our normal selfish deeds, animal instincts, we are back. But sentences like this remind us and keep that alive even when we are away from the cremation ground. You have to remember very well, this life what we have got, this tool what we have got is very, very invaluable. Invaluable. We cannot lose it. It's too costly. And of course, one day we are going to lose it in spite of all these things. But when you understand its value, when you understand its importance, yes, Every moment when we are with it, we make the best use of it. Every moment we try to protect it. Every moment we want to extend this life. That is Jijivisha. And every extra moment what we get, we want to make the best use of that moment for the upliftment of the soul, for strengthening of the soul, for purifying the soul. But all this we will do it only when we understand the importance of life, importance of prana. That is the Sharira, Indriya, Manas and the soul being together. That's prana. So this awareness becomes very, very crucial. Every moment is invaluable. Sharindra Manas is invaluable. Knowledge is invaluable. Practice is invaluable. Every moment of our living is invaluable. Not to be lost sight of. So these sentences what we have got, they emphasize on this issue and tells us the importance of living and existence as long as possible. Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishe chatam sama. You want to live for 100 years, make the best use of every moment, not just 100, even beyond 100. Every extra moment what we have got is a great and invaluable opportunity for us. You see now the way we look at life is something different. Life is not for just physical enjoyment. It's not for sensual pleasures. There is a higher purpose for our living. It is to experience love and compassion. It is to extend this love and compassion for other lives around us. The way we look at ourselves, the way we look at other lives now becomes totally different, humane and purposeful. Fine. Let us think over on these lines and imbibe all these things into our life. And the way we look at life should change, should become serious. Life is not something just to be lived. It's not for that. In particular, the human life is for living usefully, purposefully. I don't say this for the life of any other creature, but I do respect. We have to respect the life of other creatures also. We are not supposed to kill them. We have to protect them. We have to live with them. Fine. But when it comes to our own lives, human life, yes, this is something beyond that. It's a great opportunity for us. There it is living for living. Here it is living for progress. That's the human life. There it is living for living. Here it is living for extending compassion and love to all other living beings, which other living beings cannot do it. They will just live. Now, you understand this difference between prana in other creatures, prana in a human being. Yes, it makes the whole life beautiful, tolerable, wonderful. Okay, thank you for the day. There are many such things. We'll discuss and discuss and discuss. Thank you.